Good evening and greetings from Memphis, Tennessee. And I'm so sorry that I'm not there with you. I had so looked forward to getting to meet everybody and just to be there for this event. I'm Sheila Bentley, and I'm going to talk for a few minutes about the benefits of listening. Since Michael and Tom are in the business of listening, it might be helpful for you to see what some of the benefits to listening are. So, the first one is that when you're listening, you might learn something. President Lyndon Johnson had a sign on his desk that said, if you're talking, you aren't learning anything. So maybe there's some good advice there. The second thing is that you're developing a relationship with the person that you're listening to without ever opening your mouth. And it's going to be a better relationship if you're listening. And the third thing is that you get to see not only what the person knows, but you get to see their perspective and their feelings about what they're talking about. So we can't always see those things when it's in writing. So those first three benefits to listening also help us to do a better job of problem solving. And this is maybe a time when we could all use some better problem solving skills. But there are some additional benefits to the listener. The speaker tends to like you more if you listen to them. They also think you're smarter. And by the way, there is research to back both of those things up. And finally, and this is the big payoff, they're more likely to listen to you if you have listened to them. So those are the benefits to you if you are the listener. And if you think about those benefits, think about Michael and Tom as listeners. And have we all not experienced that we think they're pretty smart and they're pretty likable and we're pretty likely to listen to them. And it would probably be pretty easy to do some problem solving with them. So they're just a really good example of how good listening can pay off in a number of ways. So now let's talk about the benefits to the speaker. So when you're being listened to, what are the benefits to you? Well, the first one is that you develop a sense of self-worth when somebody listens to you. It's like, hey, somebody is at least one person is at least listening to me, so I must be worth something. And the second one is that the speaker develops a sense of status. And how high that status is depends on the status of the listener. So if the Queen of England is listening to me or the President of the United States is listening to me, I have a higher sense of status than if it's just my neighbor who's listening to me. And then the third thing is, and this one is hard to explain, but the listener, when I tell you something, I now know that you know it, and you know that I know it. And so you can't say, well, I didn't know that, or you didn't tell me about that, or, so you can't claim that you were unaware because we've had this experience of awareness. So anyway, those three things can also lead to better problem solving and better relationships. And one other benefit is that listening is free. It's the gift that you can give to people, and it doesn't cost you anything other than maybe some time and some energy. It's not easy. It's not always fun. And that's why sometimes we need courses in how to do a better job of listening, because sometimes we are kind of all about ourselves. And if it's not interesting, we don't want to pay attention. Or if it's painful, we don't want to hear it. So those would just be some of the benefits to listening. So I hope you have a good evening. I'm so sorry I don't get to share it with you, and I'll look forward to some future date of getting to be with all of you.